Hello everyone, and welcome back to My Journey, the series in which I take you along my path to gathering every Trackmania Track of the Day author medal. Volume 23 today is going to be an all-September 2024 edition, with today's opening track and the one I achieved my 510th author medal on being RallyRush, which was made by SkyTropical, and it was the track of the day on September 6th. RallyRush, like the name would suggest here, is a rally car track, and the author medal on this one comes in at 49.793 seconds, and about 4,500 players have this author medal, so it is going to be the easiest one from today's video, filled with already easy author medals. Even if you particularly struggle with the rally car, I still believe it is going to be quite easy for you, and it took me just 4 minutes to get this one, finishing with my time of 48.403 seconds. So this isn't your typical rally track with the narrow lines and tight turns. This one is pretty wide open, making it much easier to drive than all of those. So maybe if you aren't as good as Rally, you'll enjoy this one, but for me, I just found it to be a little bit boring. Next up, my 511th author medal came on the track Meadow Mayhem, which was created by Bag, and this was the track of the day on September 8th. Meadow Mayhem is a grass track, and over 4,100 players have the author medal on this one, so another one on the very easy side here. That author medal time comes in at 44.416 seconds, and that only took me 3 minutes to achieve, finishing with my time of 44.155 seconds. This was another track that I didn't particularly find to be the most exciting. You know, the route on this one is very safe and very easy to drive. Really no risk of gears or crashing on this one, which for me, again, you know, just not the most exciting thing in the world, and we've seen these types of grass tracks a million times over. My 512th author medal came on the track Disconnect, which was made by Lucky Boy, and it was the track of the day on September 7th. Disconnect is a mixed track that has an author medal time of 42.708 seconds, and about 1,000 players have this one, so much harder than the previous two tracks. It also took me a decent while to get this one, taking 27 minutes, with my finishing time being 42.528 seconds. So for the most part, I did really enjoy this track, but there were two parts of this one that just completely ruined it for me. The opening jump into the dirt, very easy to lose the gear on, turning it into a restart simulator, and the final jumps to the finish on this one, just a completely unnecessary gap between two platforms, which I clipped on a bunch of times. I achieved my 513th author medal on the track SkyTropical, which was made by Skip, and this was the track of the day on September 2nd. SkyTropical is a mixed track that has an author medal time of 42.815 seconds, and about 2,400 players have achieved this one, so another one on the pretty easy side here. It took me 7 minutes to get, finishing with a time of 42.531 seconds. This was definitely a good track, and I don't want to say unique, but it was certainly different from most mixed tracks that we get, as it offered a pretty large variety of different turns that you don't really see, so I'll give it that. Unfortunately, the track does contain a cut, or even multiple cuts, I believe, so again, that is a bit unfortunate. Next up, my 514th author medal came on the track Broken Transmission, which was made by Mercury, and this was the track of the day on September 1st. With this one releasing on the 1st, that means we got a lull track here, and a pretty short one as well, with the author medal on this one coming in at 22.075 seconds, but again, over 2,000 players have this one. It took me 7 minutes to get, finishing with a time of 20.97 seconds. This was certainly a unique and interesting track, but I'm kind of glad I got the author medal as quickly as I did, because I'm not so sure I would have enjoyed this one all that much if I had to grind for this author medal. So, you know, I'm kind of glad we got to see a track like this. It was cool, but I don't think I want to see a track like this in the future. My 515th author medal came on the track Viridis Vallis, which was made by Moisty, and this was the track of the day on September 12th. Viridis Vallis is a grass and tech track, and the author medal on this one comes in at 38.924 seconds, and yet again, over 2,000 players have this one, with this one having over 2,600. It took me just 7 minutes to get, finishing with a time of 38.442 seconds. This is a very typical blender style track and one we've seen a million times over, just like track number 2 of today's video. So you know, it's fine or even good for what it is, but the style is a little bit stale for me. My 516th author medal came on the track Fekl of the Day, which was of course made by Fekl, and it was the track of the day on September 18th. Fekl of the Day is a dirt track, and about 4,300 players have this one, so yet again a very easy track here. The author medal time on this one comes in at 39.739 seconds. It took me just 3 minutes to get this one, finishing with a time of 38.838 seconds. Even though this track is far from perfect with having a bad gear and some awkward turns throughout, I honestly enjoyed my short time driving it, and maybe, you know, every track of the day doesn't have to be this super polished track. My 517th author medal came on the track John Grass, which was made by TN Tree, and this was the track of the day on September 5th. Just like the name says here, this is a grass track and about 600 players have this one, making it the most challenging from today's video. It took me 26 minutes to drive it, finishing with a time of 30.778 seconds. This is probably my favorite track from today's video, but is also very difficult, and any gear loss, which is extremely easy to get, is going to set you back massively as you basically come to a standstill. Next up, my 518th author medal came on the track Constella, which was made by Chocoloo, and this was the track of the day on September 14th. Constella is a mixed track, and about 1,000 players have the author medal on this one, in which that time comes in at 44.742 seconds. It took me 16 minutes to drive this one, finishing with a time of 44.698 seconds. This probably would have been my favorite track from today's video, but the engine off section and the jump afterwards were just a complete mess for me every single time I got there. It was just a guessing game and just hoping and praying that I would get it cleanly, which I pretty much never did. So maybe if I spent more time on the track or watched the world record more to try to understand it, I would have liked it a little bit more, but I did not enjoy that section. My 519th and final author medal in today's video came on the track Vanilla Constructions, which was made by Mr. Pepsi, and this was the track of the day on September 20th. Vanilla Constructions gets my unofficial Bob Speed style tag, and it comes in with an author medal time of 43.944 seconds, in which about only 700 players have this one, making it the second most challenging from today's video, and it is the one I spent the longest amount of time on, taking 39 minutes, finishing with a time of 43.905 seconds. I really did not enjoy this track, and it comes down to quite a few different things. The first couple of bobsleighs extremely awkward and very hard to perform with any consistency. The full speed style sections, also felt pretty bad, especially the first one, always starting in an overslide, then getting into the speed slide a little bit later. And the final bobsleigh pretty much always spit you out a little bit sideways, which was not fantastic. And with that, we will conclude volume number 23 here today. Of course, if you are interested in driving any of the tracks you saw, there will be links in the description to all of them, and you can also find them in my in-game club called Club Teuty. Also, if you are interested in seeing if I drove any particular author medal and what video it's in, I did create a full list of that, and you can also find that in the description. And finally, if you have not done so already, please like the video and subscribe, and I hope to see you all here very soon with volume 24.